Hi, I'm Phoebe Nabors of Neighborhood Books, and today we're going to be talking about Chapter 12 of Dragonsoul. In this chapter, Aleisha has to deal with two separate confrontations. The first of which starts out really innocently as she finds Kaylee, the sweet little girl that I introduced in the last chapter, just sitting in a puddle of gravy. Aleisha helps the girl up, sends her to get cleaned off, but her cousin is also there, Agabeth. And Agabeth has a message for Aleisha. Basically, it's just, my Uncle Locke doesn't like you, and he's concerned that if you continue training with Connor and the dragons, you'll end up dead. Now, if we know anything about Aleisha by this point, it's that she has almost no self-control. And when she receives this thinly veiled threat from this 10-year-old, her magic immediately wants to respond, as it always has. But what's different is this time, Aleisha is able to reel it back in and realize this is a kid, we don't want to hurt children, and leaves without doing anything to the small child, which is a really big step for Aleisha, as we've seen her almost murder Briganti when she burnt down his entire room. And in previous chapters, during that time lapse that we very much skipped, even ended up injuring Connor when she lost control over her magic as she got frustrated during training. So she's feeling very good about herself, having left Agabeth no worse off because of her threat. But she immediately goes and finds Locke, because he's truly the one that threatened her. And she approaches him and basically throws it back in his face. How dare you threaten me? I have done nothing wrong. And he, much like Briganti, is really good at manipulating situations and is able to respond to her in such a way that he sounds really reasonable. Well, of course I'm concerned that you might end up dead. What happens if they find out that you're a Darksoul? Surely you don't think you can hide this forever, and they hate Darksouls. Well, Aleisha's not buying it, and the confrontation continues to escalate until Aleisha snaps, and every fire in the common tree, because they're all preparing dinner at the time, every fire bursts into an inferno. But Aleisha is learning, and she catches herself and she catches her magic and she cools down the fires drastically to the point that everything starts icing over. After a couple minutes struggling with herself, her magic, her emotions, getting everything under control, she finally brings things back into equilibrium and just turns and leaves, because she's done dealing with this man. She's done with the repetitive threats that she's getting from apparently everyone in the village. And she's just not having it anymore. As she leaves, feeling totally defeated, because Locke is right. How's she gonna hide her Darksoul magic forever? And because she can't seem to get this rage under control. So she's really frustrated, really discouraged, and Connor finds her and tells her how proud he is of her because he finally got to witness her practicing self-control. She's finally pulled her magic back and not used it for violence when clearly both she and her magic wanted to. So Connor still doesn't know why she's so on edge constantly, and Aleisha's still not sure that he would remain so proud if he knew what was going on behind the scenes. But progress is finally being made in Aleisha. And now they have to make some decisions about this town. I mean, it seems like every couple of days Aleisha's getting a new threat. Do they stay here? Do they leave? since Brigante's not training her, is it really necessary that they be in this location for her training? I will be back next week to cover the next chapter. I will also have the book linked in the description. Thank you so much.